What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Madden Method. Today, we are going to experiment on a what if situation if the Chiefs traded Patrick Mahomes. So, just going to go ahead and get into the trade here and see what would happen if the Chiefs traded him. Going to go ahead, send it here. 3 first rounders, one from each consecutive year, and Bryson and JC Horn. We would do more if we were allowed to, but apparently we can't right now. Let's have the next year first. We're going to do Akim for our right tackle situation. Getting a young corner, young QB, 2 first-round picks, and a young tackle. I think this is better for the Chiefs in the long run, considering Mahomes is 30 years old. You bring in a QB who is on a cheaper contract, can develop, same with JC Horn, 2 first-round picks, and a right tackle who's young as well. We're going to move him to right. Going to go ahead. Maybe we can get a third in there. We'll go ahead and send that. Go ahead, remove that third. Should be able to send it now. The best spot I could see Mahomes going to is the Panthers here. I think them giving up Kim, Bryce Young, first of next year, and a first this next year. I think giving up all of them. Maybe instead of they're like, okay, maybe we'll just offer you Jonathan Brooks here. I think this will be a good straight up trade in terms of down the road. Gain a lot of draft capital. Of course, there would be more if allowed to have more space on Madden, but we definitely can't do that, sadly. But yeah, this is the trade here. We're going to trade Patrick Mahomes for JC Horn, Bryce Young, a first this year, first next year, a first after the next year, and then gaining a rookie running back Jonathan Brooks here to improve the running back position as well. And there you have it. We sending Mahomes to the Panthers for JC Horn, Bryce Young, Jonathan Brooks, 3 consecutive first-round picks. And so, yeah, so we just traded him. Now we're going to simulate a couple of seasons, see how it goes from there, and yeah. All right, so as we start the new season without Mahomes, we're going to go ahead and check the roster here. All right, so this is how the roster is looking here. We got Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, so the same wide receivers. We got Bryce Young at QB, along with 2 running backs with Isaiah Pacheco and Jonathan Brooks here. And then on the offensive line here, we got Josh Simmons, Suamata, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and then Ricky right tackle here, along with Noah Gray at tight end. On the defensive side of the ball, we have Trent McDuffie, J.C. Horn as our new addition with Jalen Watson. And then the linebacker core is all the same. We just added those couple of people there. So, yeah. All right, so with that being said, we're going to go sim to mid-season, look at some stats here, and yeah, we're going to see where we're at. All right, so right now the Chiefs are 1-6 here. Very, very terrible right now. Playing against the 2-4 Bengals here. So we're just going to go ahead and look at some stats here. As we see here, Bryce Young has 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, which is a really good ratio for the mid of the season here. In terms of running the ball here, we are not doing any favors for our team here. with averaging less than 40 yards a carry. Just not overall productive there from the run game. Wide receiver wise, we're doing really well at spreading the ball out. Where Rice does have 10 touchdowns already on 34 catches. That is a really good pace there. In terms of sacks allowed, we are already at 2 players are already at 9 sacks allowed. That is really not good for us in terms of it right now. So yeah. In terms of defensive side of the ball here, our leading sack record or leading sacker on the season so far is Chris Jones with 2.5. That's not really good. Not getting to the quarterback a lot. Our leading tackle for loss is Chris Jones, followed by George Karlaftis, then Drew Tranquil. And then interception-wise, J.C. Horn does lead our team in interceptions here with 3. Getting pretty good production out of him, as I can tell right now. Harrison Butker is 5 of 9 from field goals and has made all their extra points. And they also did get 2 field goals blocked, which only means he only missed 2 of them. And then the rest were just on the line not protecting their kicker. Overall, not doing too hot here. Gonna go ahead, change the scheme a little bit, see if that helps at all. And then we're gonna go ahead and go into a disguised 3-4 defense here. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead simulate this game, but we're gonna just show it in real time, just to see how our team is actually doing in terms of per drive here. And we get the score here first. Cincinnati's going on the drive. They score again. Cincinnati gets the ball back here. 3rd and 7. 3rd and 2 here. 4th and 1. They miss a field goal. Here we go. We have the ball and we score a field goal there. They score a touchdown. We turn over the ball. We turn it over again. We get a touchdown near. They score. And we score again. And we have won the game.
This one went down to the wire.
Nice little win pickup by Bryce Young and the Chiefs here. Should bring some momentum to the game here.
That'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific.
All right, so as we just saw here, we just beat the Bengals. We're 2-6 now. We have a tough stretch coming up. But we're gonna send these couple of weeks and see what happens. As we take in another loss to the Falcons here. Not a really good look for us right now. As we're taking on the Rams this week here, gonna go ahead sim this week and next week as we get to our bye week, see where we're at, and yeah. As we sim to next week, we did beat the Rams. What a huge win there. We're now facing the Jets coming off of a win versus the Rams here. Do need to get a win here in order to be hunting for playoffs still. Probably going to have to win out knowing the AFC and everything. So, yeah, the lowest team is 6-3, so we do have a very, very slim chance. But if we do win out, it'll be very, very high chance of us making playoffs. The next week here, we did lose to the Jets as we're on our bye week here. I'm just going to go ahead, sim to the playoffs here, and see what happens with this team. As we sim to the playoffs here, we did lose every single game here on out. So not really good for us. Gonna go ahead, sim to the next year and simulate that. But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and look at some stats. So as we looked here, we got Bryce Young with 3,000 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions. It looks like Bryce Young did get hurt during the season as our backup QB, Nick Mullins, did throw a little bit, but had 12 interceptions to 6 touchdowns. So not really good there. Running the ball didn't improve at all with 567 yards and 6 touchdowns. As wide receiver wise, Rasheed Rice did have 1,200 yards, almost 1,300, with 16 touchdowns. And then Worthy with 1,000 yards and 4 touchdowns there. And then the third leading receiver was Noah Gray with 830 yards and 5 touchdowns. And then our wide receiver threw Marquise Brown with 696 and 3 touchdowns there. On the offensive line side, our highest sack allowed person was Josh Simmons with 19. And then as we go to the defensive side of the ball, Chris Jones did have 10 sacks along with 6 from George Karlaftis. As our leading interception person, J.C. Horn is still at top with 3, tied with Shamari O'Connor. Chris Jones did lead the team in tackles for loss with 17 and 10 from George Karlaftis. Highest tackler on our team was Drew Tranquil. Harrison Butker did only miss 5 field goals this year. So basically 3 because 2 were blocked. And then he did miss an extra point, which is very disappointing for him. So yeah, with that being said, we're going to go ahead, sim to another year, and then sim that year. Just see what happens with it. As we sim to the next season here, I'm going to go ahead and look at the team, see what the CPU did. And then after that, we are just going to go ahead, sim to mid-season, look at some stats here. And then after that, we're just going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs from that point and just see how overall the team does. All right, so how the team is looking here with same wide receivers as last year. Jonathan Brooks is the starting running back. Bryce Young is back here. Our right tackle is still the rookie there. Noah Gray is our tight end. Same offensive lineman and everything. On the defensive side of the ball, Chris Jones did retire, so we have pick up a rookie there. Linebackers still look the same here without Drew Tranquil, who we let go. We do have Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, and J.C. Horn still. Shamani O'Connor is still here with Brian Cook as well. So, yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead, sim to the mid-season here, and just look at some stats at that point. And then from there, we're just going to go ahead and sim to the playoffs. All right, so we're at mid-season here. We are 0-7 here. So, yeah, we're 0-7. Just going to go look at some stats. Bryce Young with 1,600, 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, which is worse than last year's start as well. Running the ball here, we're just not good efficiently on the run here. Wide receivers, Hollywood Brown is our leading receiver in yards right now, with Worthy and Rice trailing him. Noah Gray does have 280, which is pretty good, still spreading the ball around. Josh Simmons is still regressing here, basically, just because he's allowing 8 sacks already, which is basically 1 sack per game. Not getting a lot of pressure to the quarterback here. I think the presence of no Chris Jones here really does lower this team a lot. Interception leaders are J.C. Horn, Trent McDuffie, and Leo Chanel all tied. Now our tackle for loss, Marcus Harris and George Karlaftis are both tied with 4, with Nick Bolton trailing with 3 here. So overall, the stats didn't look like nothing like too crazy, as we have 2 players here leading in tackles in the NFL. But yeah, other than that, it's not really looking too pretty for us here. Just going to go ahead and change a couple of things here on the schemes and then go ahead and sim. So after we change a couple of things on the schemes here, we're just going to go ahead send him to the playoffs and see what happens. To the end of the season here, we just won 2 games. So I think at the end of this here, we're just gonna go ahead, check some stats here, and then go ahead and just a recap of everything that happened. Bryce Young finished with 3,800 yards, 26 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Not a good ratio at all if you want to win games. Didn't run the ball efficiently at all with 582 on 181 carries and 3 touchdowns. Our leading wide receiver was Rashee Rice again, followed by Worthy. Marquise Brown took a little step forward. Noah Gray did step back a little bit, but not by too much. And then the overall sacks allowed with McDonald and Josh Simmons again combining for 31 sacks. Not good at all. That is not how you're gonna win games and stuff like that, which does reflect on the record a lot. On the defensive side of the ball here, did have a lot of people get some sacks here, but just not enough playmakers in order to cause pressure on on the offense, causing them to mess up a lot more. In terms of leading interception leaders on our team, Trent McDuffie with 3. J.C. Horn did make a presence on our defense, getting 2 more this year. In terms of tackles for loss here, Goodman had 11, followed by Nick Bolton and Karlaftis with 8. Then Ashton Galati with 6. Norman Lott with 4. Market Harris with 4. Trent McDuffie with 3. Leo Chanel with 3. Carlos Diaz with 3 as well. In terms of total tackles here, Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel, and Shamari O'Connor are your 3 leading tacklers, with J.C. Horn in the hundreds as well. Really, really good by J.C. Horn here, making his presence felt on this defense. In terms of kicking here, we did miss 4 kicks, but 3 of them did get blocked, so only 1 of them he actually missed. Extra points took a step forward with 27 of 27 there. Really good. So overall, with a recap of things here, we did not do anything better. So the Chiefs are now, if Chiefs hypothetically traded Mahomes, they would probably get a much bigger bag than I could have on Madden in terms of it. But if they did trade them, the first 2 years, of course, would be a setback. But would it be like this type of setback here? It's a lot different in real life, but overall, if Chiefs traded, this is if the Chiefs traded Mahomes here, that their team would go down badly, very badly. But let me know if there was any other teams I could have traded with other than the Panthers there. I really felt like the Panthers were the best fit for Mahomes, the best team that would give up most stuff for him and stuff like that. But yeah, just let me know if there was any other team that I could have done a trade with there. But yeah, other than that, just leave me a comment on what you guys want to see next on the What If series here. But yeah, please leave a like and comment and subscribe to this channel, please. And as always, Madden Method out.